is good, everybody out there? Thanks again for checking into another episode of Court Thoughts, the channel where we basically talk basketball. Before I get into the episode, what do you think about the background, eh? It looks pretty fire, if I must say so myself. I got a couple new jerseys. I got some shoes on display, bro. I got it all. I got it all. I got the coach's board. What do you need? I got it, bro. I'm decked out right now. I'm feeling like this is actually what I wanted it to look like. Fairly recently, we had the basketball world losing its mind, seeing some of the highlights that were coming out of the Eurobasket 2022 tournament. Now, the Eurobasket tournament is held every 4 years and contains 16 teams that are international teams from within all of Europe. Knowing the skill set of European basketball that I absolutely love and appreciate, you best believe your boy was paying attention. And there was one man specifically that I was paying an exceptional amount of attention to, and that man is Luka Doncic. Now, I did a video on Luka Doncic previously on his time playing with the Mavs, and as you can see, got his jersey right behind me. I am an absolute fan of this man's game, and I wanted to do an in-depth analysis on this man playing in a different context, playing with his nation of Slovenia. Some of the highlights that I was seeing on social media was absolutely bonkers, and I'm sure that we're going to see a bunch of them today when we check out Delay of Game Hoops' video, which I will leave the link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. But without any further delay, let's check out the video. Alright guys, let's check out Delay of Game Hoops' video. Let's do it. Mismatch there.
Oh, he goes around!
I love that feel on the spin. Snaking.
Over to Blasic. Third three of the game.
He's going to drop it low.
Pinned on the backboard by Nick Batum right at the end.
Like a screen
Tough
action.
way for him to finish his Olympic. There is
He loves that
a shot from Doncic. And again now, Slovenia. A chance
Good
to
read.
take the lead. Hands it
D-cell.
off. Kobe!
That's another thing that he's amazing at is that D-cell, but with that snatch.
And
Yo!
Doncic switching quickly. Blasic.
Pretty good spacing by the team overall.
Good. Luka doesn't have to dominate with his.
Wants it back. Good defense. Good defense, really. That's great.
Oh, he steps back even farther.
Look here. He draws the two defenders. Behind the head, no look pass, on time, on target. Toby buries the three. Now we have a small lineup with Muric as a 5.
Doncic gets into the paint, puts it up, and that is a Luka Doncic special.
High risk passes, high risk plays, take care of the ball, simple, strong, short plays.
Look at that, he's reading, recognizing his own.
Doncic fades.
He's been working on that spin.
We've seen it a few times
He's been
tonight.
working on that spin.
Corey Herbert making Dennis Schroeder captain.
I'm surprised that
Here
wasn't
is
called a carry.
Doncic. He hangs in the air. Hangs on Doncic.
Reading the space.
Shot clock winding down. Turn around, and Doncic
With that baby Dirk fade.
backpedals down the court.
Schroeder up in him. He has a
Able
lot
to
of
put it up
difficulty with fast-moving defenses. I've noticed that. And so
Luka
he
backs
does
him
generally
up
opt
and
for
gets in and scores.
physicality, so I'm not surprised by seeing some of the things that I'm saying.
Here's Doncic.
Just blew
Oh!
my mind when I
Are
saw
you
this.
kidding?
Please
This
tell me
might
they got
just be the
replay.
shot of the
Look at
tournament.
this. God damn.
Guarded by
Amazing.
Gobert.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, he has so much bravado that he's able to.
Like, I know
make
he
that
had to
shot.
hoist it up, but
Nope.
that's disrespectful, bro.
Oh yeah, that's a tough assignment for him.
The stagger in his step.
Doncic goes up and scores.
Such smart offense from Coach Sekulic.
Doncic
Snatch
up,
back.
crossed him up.
Love it.
Poirier comes back, but it's too late.
Different
Great
players.
Doncic
Patience.
again. He's feeling it.
So here France is in the hard show pick and roll coverage now to try to stop Doncic.
Doncic, he takes it all the way. He's got a chance for a three-point play.
Again, we say stop the ball at one.
Last night, 36 points was the most points. The great Nikos Gallus
really
of Greece
didn't
had
shift all that
46
much. It
and
was all
45
ahead.
points. Berkowitz from Israel. Here we go. And another three. He has equaled Nikos Gallus.
Reading, recognizing he's not really getting a good line.
You can't have a bigger, more athletic challenge than Rudy Gobert. There's the step back, the release, and it's money in the bank.
But not the first time he has shot it over the Prince Bigs tonight.
Doncic just scored for Slovenia. Here he is getting fouled, and he scores. 3-point play opportunity.
He's in this controlled position, and as soon as the whistle gets blown, boom, he recognizes it. He's still able to flow up. And you know, whether or not he didn't get his second hand to his guide hand, he still would have sent it up.
Assignment for Baco. He puts it up, and that's 3 in a row. And he is just loving pass. Zeo as well, getting ready to come off the bench. Doncic just bully ball his way.
Fantastic, but again,
He
you know,
stopped his momentum from continuing forward. Watch. See? He stepped away from the ring. Beautiful. Now, guys, before I get into the detailed analysis as usual, there's one thing I want to say. FIBA has an amazing job of demonetizing me when it comes to reviewing their content, and unfortunately, although the video is from Delay of Game Hoops, I'm quite certain that there is going to be some sort of flagging from them. So guys, please, before I say anything else, please go ahead, like and subscribe, give me some support. It absolutely means the world. But let's get into the detail right now. Now, the first thing that I wanted to call out is really a two-parter. And it's control and footwork. Now, control really has two different definitions or two different meanings associated to his game, but the first one that I'm going to comment to is body control. Body control and footwork literally, in my opinion, go hand in hand. That being said, you can have fantastic footwork and not that great body control and vice versa. Luka Doncic's combination and effective usage of both is really what allows him to play at the pace that he wants to play. Now, the three maneuvers that jump out at me when I think of Luka Doncic's body control and footwork, the first one goes without saying, and that is his sidestep. His sidestep or step back. Realistically, in having a step back, having your footwork is one thing because that allows you to initiate the distance or initiate that creation of space. But if you have poor body control, as you sidestep, your body's momentum is going to continue to drift, right? Now, having the body control in allowing you to compensate for that movement and keep yourself straight without falling back is an exceptional skill, and it goes to show the amount of time and effort that this man has put into honing his craft. Having the body work is one thing, but the footwork is the predominant of that maneuver. Now, that doesn't really point out a lot of details to what I'm specifically talking about, so let me give you another one. His decel, or his deceleration step. When you look at his controlled or gather step that he's taking when he's going in and finishing closely, a lot of the time now, players are becoming a lot smarter where they're anticipating Euro steps. Now, the angle or the direction of the step is really what is changing for the most part when you look at Euro steps taking effect. Are they veering away from the basket? Are they going across the basket? Whatever that they're doing, it's essentially taking place at the same tempo. Now, this is how Luka has changed it. He's utilizing a decel or a deceleration by heavily stepping and leaning forward. Now, this counter movement allows him to stop from toppling over, and it's almost using the same sort of process as you would with a step back, because you're leaning heavy forward to allow yourself to generate the energy to push back. Now, if you're looking to try and go downhill and you want to stop yourself, if you continue in that movement, your defender's going to read that action and continue to move right past you, and then he can lift back. The control in his body to be able to have that shift in weight in going forward and backwards, and the effective unifying of his footwork with this body movement is really what allows him to use that decel. Now, the next example that I wanted to give was around his spin maneuver. And a lot of the time when people are utilizing a spin move, they're just trying to rotate around you. They're having a little bit of body contact. But hyper effective spin moves, especially in the post, is predicated off of usage of sealing with your shoulders. You're literally feeling the player with your shoulders. Perfect examples of players that did this effectively was Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and absolutely Shaquille O'Neal. If you look at Shaquille O'Neal's spin move, he used to call it, I believe, the Black Tornado or something stupid like that. The man loves nicknames. But he would spin and he would unify his footwork to step behind your legs and use his elbow to seal. Now, you've got to be careful with utilizing the elbow because you can get called for a foul. And so in being able to use your shoulder, you can still have that same effectiveness. When we see players of age now where they are guards, they generally don't have the level of footwork and mid-range control or postal control that you see guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or even large-bodied frame big men, because of the fact that it's not a common place for them to be positioned in. Most guards are looking to try and beat you off the legs. They're looking to try and beat you downhill or cross you up or fade away from you. Luka's looking to initiate that contact by creating that space with his legs to get past you and use his body contact and body control to seal you in that position. I've mentioned previously that this man doesn't have a hyper athletic game. He plays relatively slow, but he's able to do this because he does all these little details right. Luka's combination of effective body control and footwork is really what allows him to play at his own pace. Now, the other aspect of control that I wanted to talk about is ball control. When you think about how Luka is controlling the ball, especially in those fouling situations, every single time that he was fouled, he was able to effectively get up a shot. Whether or not a foul is being called in your favor, you should have complete control of the ball. Why? Because the ball is your weapon. The ball is the main weapon. Everyone wants that ball. If you have control of it and you're able to slip in and out of shooting actions, passing actions, and dribbling actions, you have everything available to you. If you can have that level of control and option, that allows you to play with what some would consider the flair that Luka has, but it's really his control of the ball. When he's going up and he's trying to get in close, he's recognizing that there's contact coming his way. He now has control of the ball where he can still lift it up, he can go with a wide hook, or what he likes to do is this behind the back or over the head top release pass. And we've seen him do things like this a lot where he does that fade away and then he sort of just flicks it on. If you can really have control over your body movement, your footwork, as well as the ball, man, you can play at whatever speed you want. No one's going to be able to take it from you or stop you. You can just pick them apart. Now, feeding off of that last point of ball control, presence of mind is the next point that I wanted to raise. If you notice, again, in those fouling situations, he had presence of mind. He was recognizing the fact that the whistle was called, and because he had control of the ball, he was able to hoist up some of these shots. Now, some of those shots could absolutely be a fluke, but some of those shots needed to take effect. It's a foul. The ball is live. You can literally send it up. And the ref is either going to do one of two things. He's either going to call a shooting foul, or he's not going to let you take that shot and it's not going to be a shooting foul. Either way, a whistle's being blown and it's a foul. If the ball goes in and it's mid-shooting action, that shot counts. Whether it's a 2 or a 3, it does not matter. You're giving yourself the most opportunities to score, and basketball is all about opportunities, maximizing those opportunities. Also, when we see presence of mind, we can think about where he's utilizing his pace. A perfect example of this is where we see the Schmitty, or that little half turn, some people call it. But because he's playing in so much control and he has effective usage of footwork, he's recognizing that the defenders are being aggressive and they're trying to stick to him because they know that he wants to try and go down the lane, or he's an effective scorer when he's in close. They're trying to play up on him. Now, you as an offensive player have the benefit of being able to direct their movement. Realistically, the defender's job is to try and take away your options, but you can move them, you can shift them and read and react to that. In that downhill movement, we literally saw Luka do this. That's all he did. Didn't even make it to the point where he's meeting somewhere in the middle. He didn't meet to 90 degrees. He probably went about 30, 45 degrees. This just comes from presence of mind in recognizing that they're hounding you. And if they're hounding you, the littlest things that you do, or the littlest slow movements or control that you have, again with the control, it allows you to maximize these opportunities and create even more opportunities for yourself. Now, the last thing that I wanted to comment to is something that I've spoken about before, and that's his usage of body contact. This is slightly different than body control. When I'm talking about body control, I'm talking about how he moves, right? Where he's shifting his weight and how he's utilizing that in conjunction with his footwork. His usage of body contact, although it is relatively similar, it is actually different. And an example of that is the bump and fade. As soon as Luka recognizes that he's not going to be able to have the defender bite on his fake, he makes an initiation of contact or a little bit of a body bump to generate energy to push the defender away and also allow him to generate inertia or energy to push away from him, ultimately creating separation. Now, usage of body allows you to be able to do these things, but that's not all. It's also the usage of using your body as a shield or a frame. So many players now are looking to try and beat defenders front on. Now, whilst it is also an absolutely effective tool to be comfortable in controlling the ball front on, it's also about having the presence of mind or recognition in understanding how to play defenders different. Let's look at how he played against Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder, a much smaller, faster and agile player, was looking to try and hound Luka. Luka, recognizing this, initiated shielding the ball by putting his body in between Dennis and the ball. This then allowed him to back him down. Dennis Schroeder is not anywhere near the same sort of body size or height to be able to contest a lot of this, and so his speed is null and void. He can't go through him, he has to deal with that weight. And although you can do effective bracing maneuvers and you can try and shuttle them away, there's only so much that you can do, especially in situations where you get down to the low post. And I don't even know how tall Luka Doncic is. I'm pretty sure he's like 6'7". Dennis Schroeder's like 6'1", 6'2". He's quite small in comparison, and it makes a big difference. Now, when we're utilizing our body, we can do it in a bunch of different ways. Whether or not we're using body contact to generate space with the bump and fade, or we're using our body to shield the ball from the defender, whether we're in a dribbling situation or, like I explained in the case bump video, of utilizing a wide hook, we should be looking to try and protect the ball. Realistically, when it comes to the game of basketball, you should be looking to try and play at your own pace. You shouldn't be trying to rush. This enables you to use speed to your fullest advantage. You can be fast when you want to be fast, and you can be slow when you want to be slow. And you can play with that tempo, and it really throws the defender off. But if you don't have control, if you don't have patience, if you don't have recognition, if you can't recognize the options that are in front of you, all of these things don't matter. But I have to say, these highlights, although it was a short video that I was reacting to, I have to give an absolute shout out to Delay Game Hoops. Another banger for the collection. Honestly, please make sure you jump over there, you give them a like and subscribe. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you did enjoy today's content, please consider liking and subscribing. I am currently pushing to hit my new goal of 10k subs, so I could absolutely do with all your love and support in achieving that. Now, before I wrap up today's video, I do want to give you all a big thanks for sticking around with me today. And please, if you're wanting to get involved in everything that I'm doing here, you want to make some recommendations about videos, or you want me to check out your highlights, or whatever the case, go ahead and get out your boy. I've got all my contact details at the end, as well as my Discord details in the description below. Creates this point of contact. Let's communicate. Let's talk. Okay? But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for kicking it with your boy. And until I see you next time, make sure you're looking after yourself, you take care, and be safe. All right. Peace.